Alright, what up people? Welcome to a brand new video here on the TheApexHound channel. Today, I'm going to be discussing my wish list for PGA Tour 2K27. So, when PGA Tour 2K25 dropped in February of last year, it was one of my favorite golf games since Tiger Woods 2013, I would say. But since then, I feel like the game has regressed, and this is meant to be a live service game that lasts 2 years. We're not even a full year into the cycle yet, and I feel like there's been a big fall off. And we need to talk about that. We need to talk about how they need to manage the live service better, how they need to manage the gameplay bugs better, and overall just some new additions that could be added to the game that I think could help going forward. So, yeah, as I said, I mean, 2K25 at launch, to me, it was fantastic. I think the Evo swing really added something, and we're going to start there because I feel like the gameplay is key for 2K27. So with the gameplay, like I said, I love the Evo swing. I know it's not for everyone, but you can never please everyone, right? I personally love the Evo swing. I think it's the best that a golf swing has felt in the HB Studios golf games, and I'm looking forward to playing with that swing for many years to come. Maybe it can be tweaked here or there, little things, but I like the way that they've done things. I like all of the shot types. Maybe some shot types are too easy, like the super flop, it's too easy to get it close. The pick, it's too easy to get it close. Like, I feel like those things, they need to be tweaked a little bit to make sure that the splash and the spinner and the pitch are more viable. Because I feel like, as it stands right now, if you're 18 yards away, or you're 16 yards away, or you're 13 yards away, no matter what, you're going to super flop it. Unless you're in a position to chip it in. Like, if you're in the rough and there's a slope or anything, you're going to super flop it. There's no two ways about it. That's the shot you're going to go to. I hope that there's a reason to use a more variety of shot types. Because they have, like, the runner and they have the knockdown. I've personally never used a lot of the shot types in the game, or I never do use them, at least, right? So I think that there needs to be instances where those shot types can actually be used more frequently. And as I said, overall, love the Evo swing. I think it's fantastic. You do not need to reinvent the wheel with the swing, but what you do need to do is you need to fix your game when there is gameplay issues, when there's bugs that are added into the game, even after launch. Like, at launch, a lot of these issues were not here. The speed boost physics bug was there before, I think, in some capacity, but it got much, much worse when ultra and ultra and extremely fast greens were added to the game when they added St. Andrews, which I think was in June or July, maybe even May of last year. So the fact that these bugs have now gone unfixed for close to 8 months is just completely unacceptable to me. I feel like, you know, there's a bug that's breaking the physics of your game. Like, I will show you guys a clip right now to show you exactly what this speed boost physics bug I'm talking about is. Oh, he's fucking buttered it too. Go on. Talk dirty to me. Go. Big bones! It's short.
It's not getting up.
It's short.
No, it's not short. Speed boost.
Oh, just suck my balls,
there,
game.
there it goes.
Like,
there it goes. Hey, we don't need to fix that, guys. This could be very good.
Oh,
That's
what
a terrible bounce.
Terrible bounce that is. Holy how does that bounce left?
And I got the bug.
This fucking game.
What you get for being lefty, idiot. Ooh, is this gonna get there? My god, it is. He got speed boosted. It's gonna speed boost into the cup.
It's gonna speed boost
It's
right
gonna
off the
speed
back.
boost into the cup.
Dude. That is nuts, dude.
I can't wait for you to clip the bunker. Oh no.
Or hit the rough and deaden it out.
No,
Or
you're
speed
getting
boost.
lucky too.
Oh my fucking god, dude.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
This shit makes me crash out so fucking hard.
So yeah, you'll see in those clips, there's quite a few of them. I could have a lot more of them. That at a certain point when the ball hits the ground, it just starts boom sliding, and it just goes and goes and goes. Even if it's going straight uphill, if it's going downhill, if it's on a flat, it doesn't matter. That ball is just going. The one where Respawn's ball went into the water was particularly bad, but yeah, overall that's happening to me on a daily basis when I'm playing that game. The speed bug, it happens a lot more than you think, and it's not like this kind of sheltered issue. This is a widespread issue. I see it all the time on 2K's social posts, for example. People will be like, fix the speed boost bug, fix the speed boost physics bug, and you know, it just doesn't seem like they're planning on addressing it, which to me is the most disappointing part, that you would abandon like the newest patch, season 5 or whatever, didn't have any gameplay bug fixes whatsoever. And the fact that there's such glaring issues in the gameplay that weren't there at launch, like even the glue fringes and stuff, that has been reintroduced. That's a more minor one, but still very annoying. Even the like ultra fast greens, when you're playing on the ultra fast greens, the ball just stops in the middle of red slopes all of the time. Those are meant to be the fastest greens. The ball just stops in actual red slopes, like on downhills, like, which shouldn't really be the case. You know, that's not the way that physics work. So a lot of physics issues around the way that the ball is reacting to the course. So I feel like that's stuff that you have to step in and fix, and that's disappointing that they haven't done that. They're just moving on to 2K27, it feels like, more than anything. The more this bug happens to you, obviously the more frustrating it gets, right? Like good shots with a 3-wood from 250 out just sailing on through the green because of a speed boost physics bug. It's very, very frustrating. But yeah, overall, like I said, I do think that if you just fix the issues that are here, I think they should be fixing it in 2K25, not waiting until 2K27 personally. And it does give me a little bit of pause and worry about, like, say this happens again in 2K27, right? They fix it at launch, and then post-launch, something gets added in that breaks the gameplay 4 months into the game. Do they just say, we'll fix it in 2K29? We're not going to address it. We're going to fix it in 2K29. That's another 2 years where you're playing with all of these bugs. It's just something that, to me, should be non-negotiable, that you should be fixing gameplay bugs in a live service game, right? I just think that it's unacceptable to be doing it the way that it's done right now. But, like I said, there's not a lot they have to do to the core gameplay. Like, if you nail the gameplay at launch, you just have to protect it. Ongoing physics tuning and bug fixes need to be, as I said, non-negotiable, not something that disappears 4 months in. So I think that if they can just fine-tune a couple of things with the gameplay, make sure that there's no bug fixes in, and actually just support the gameplay post-launch, and make sure that the bugs don't creep into the game after launch, I think that they have a really solid gold winner on their hands with the gameplay aspect here. So, next, let's move on to economy and progressions. At the launch of PGA Tour 2K25, I think progression was definitely too easy. I was able to level up a character to like 92 overall in like a couple of days. I think it was just far too easy to play around and just level up your guy and get all of this VC and hoard it. And so I do think it was too easy, but they went the other way. And as the seasons went on, I feel like it got more and more frustrating with the amount of VC that you need for an Evo tool, and then you need 3 Evo tools to upgrade a bag, then you need 4 and 5 Evo tools to upgrade one club or one club set in your bag, and it just kind of, it doesn't really give you the option to play around with multiple bags, in my opinion, right? I play this game a lot. I've played 600 plus hours of this game, right? I play this game for a living. I make YouTube videos and play this game for a living, and I still haven't put enough time into this game to have the clubs near the top tier. I think I'm mostly on Galaxy Opal, which is like 3 tiers away from the top now, because you have Galaxy Opal, you have Dark Matter. I think my putter's on Dark Matter, and that's it. And then you have Galactic Amber, and you have Tiger's Eye. And it's going to be a long time before I can get all of my clubs to Tiger's Eye. And I mean, I play this game a lot, you know, like 600 hours in less than a year is no small feat, right? Like it almost feels like it has to be a lifestyle for you to be able to get one set to max. Like if you want multiple club sets, get out of here, son. You need to be spending 5,000 hours on this game. But yeah, that's kind of my problem, is like keeping up with club upgrades does feel unsustainable. The grind feels like it's designed around committing to a single bag forever, and that's frustrating, because I think that 2K25 have actually done a really good job of adding equipment into the game, especially recently. I think like they're adding brands like Tacomo you see in season 5. Like that's really cool. I have a partnership with Tacomo in real life. I'd love to buy those clubs and kind of, you know, start again with a new set. But I mean, it does seem like a lot of these clubs that they're putting up on the store, they're already Galaxy Opal, or they're already, but again, that costs a lot of VC to buy all these clubs as well, and I don't want to buy the clubs when I have to upgrade my clubs with the VC as well. So it just kind of limits what I'm able to do, and I feel like I would actually be more inclined to spend money if you know, if there was this instance where I could have different bag sets, I could buy multiple clubs and upgrade them still, I would be more inclined to do that. Because as it stands right now, I don't spend any VC on equipment. I don't spend any VC on anything but upgrading my clubs, pretty much. So it doesn't really give me an option to go anywhere else. It just doesn't give me that kind of freedom of experimentation, if you get what I'm saying. Speaking about progression as well, I am excited to see what they do with different archetypes and how that works, because I do feel like archetypes are a fun addition to 2K25. I think there's a couple of tweaks here or there that I would make. One of them being that I feel like certain shot types should be limited to archetypes. Like, as it stands right now, I have my technician ranked up to 99, and I don't feel the need to use any other characters, right? But if I would love it if there was an instance where, like, right, I had to create multiple characters to use different shot types, and I had to base what course I'm playing. Say if there's a specific links course or something, I could use the pick shot. If I don't need it, then I could maybe use a knockdown if there's heavy winds or something like that, you know, like have it be where it matters what archetype you choose. And because like as it stands right now, the archetype you choose does matter, but you can just use the fittings to kind of get your archetype into a window where they can all be relatively close together or relatively the same, and then you can just unlock all of the shot types for one character as well, which I think you should have certain shot types that are locked to certain archetypes. I think that would be really cool. But yeah, that's my takeaway for the economy and the progression. I think that there's a lot of great things that they could do. I like that the way that it was structured in 2K25 to a degree. Like I did like the leveling up your guy. Find like you actually have a guy that you can level up from a 65 to a 99 or whatever. I do like that aspect of it. Kind of having a little bit of progression, but I wish I was kind of, as I said, inclined to do it with more characters. And obviously this is a wish list that I'm doing, guys, so I'm going to be touching on a lot of the things that I would change for 2K27. So I'm not going to be touching, there's a lot of positives for 2K25 as well, right? But I'm going to be mostly focusing on the things that I want to change here or there. And speaking of that, number 3, we're going to get into the career mode a little bit. I did talk about the career mode a lot in my review at 80 to 100 hours when I played at 80 to 100 hours, and I do think that the career mode in 2K25 is a lot better than it was in 2K23, and I think if they take that much of a step forward again in 2K27, that we'll have a really good career mode on our hands. And yeah, I just feel like it does still become repetitive fairly quickly. I think that they need a little bit more there. I personally have always loved the idea of having a little bit of story in the career modes. These interviews that you do, they're fun and all that, but I do think that there needs to be a little bit more than that as well. Like maybe have a caddy that you interact with or go to the range with, and there's a little bit of story, like talking to other professional golfers or something. You know, they've done that in tennis games, and they've done that in FIFA and stuff like that in the past, right? But yes, I do think 2K25 was a big step forward on the career mode, and I think if they take that much of a step forward for 2K27, we're going to be in a good place. And I do think that they took a lot of things from EA Sports PGA Tour's career mode as well, and I think that they could maybe work and evolve on some of those things and make this career mode even better. I think that the presentation was a lot better in 2K25, but it could be even better again for the major championships in terms of commentary and graphics and stuff like that. I think that they could even up it more, and yeah, just have a little bit more variety in the way that the career mode works rather than just going tournament to tournament. I like that they added in these kind of, you know, little practice things you can do beforehand, and these little closest to the pin things, more fun stuff like that, you know. But yeah, overall I just think career mode needs a little bit more variation and a few upgrades here or there to make it better. And please add some story in there, it would be awesome. All right, next up we're gonna talk about ranked, because I think this is a big one. This is a passionate one for me, actually. I think with ranked, right, there just needs to be more competitiveness. Ranked is meant to be a competitive mode, and I think as it stands right now in 2K25, it's too easy for the top players. 100%, it's way too easy for the top players. Every time you're playing a top player, whether it's Eagle and above or Albatross and above, every time it's the same thing. If you're doing ranked solos, at least, bloody hell, every game it's like birdie, 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 eagle, birdie, 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 eagle. There's no variety. It's like you're 10 under through 9 or you lose. Once you get to a certain point, you're 10 under through 9 or you lose. And I think that the main culprit for that, obviously, is the fact that there's only one ranked playlist, and it's on pro, right? And ranked just doesn't scale with player skill. Once you reach a certain level, there's nowhere left to progress to. So what we need is, if they're not going to give us a master playlist, which I beg, at least trial at least trial a master ranked playlist, because I actually think there's going to be a lot more support for a ranked master playlist than 2K25 might think. I really, or than the team might think, I should say, right? Than HB might think, or 2K might think. I really think that there's a garnering for it, because I have it in my audience all the time. People saying, yeah, I just don't play ranked. It's too easy. I don't play ranked. Everyone goes way too low. If that was it, master solves a lot of those problems. But if you're not going to do the master playlist, I feel like then at that point, we need harder conditions. We need firmer fairways and greens. We need stronger wind. But my thing is 100% to add a ranked master playlist alongside a ranked pro playlist. I just think that solves a lot of the problems with ranked. And if you're not willing to, I just don't understand why you wouldn't be willing to try it at least. If nobody plays it, fair enough, you get rid of it again. But give it a go. I actually think that it would be popular. I think it would be very popular to have a ranked master playlist. Because yeah, ranked for me, like in games, I love ranked modes. I've played a lot of ranked in my days growing up on multiplayer games like Overwatch and Rocket League. I played a lot of ranked, and I feel like ranked is there to challenge the best players. That's what ranked should be there for. I know that there has to be a balance and the casual players have to be able to enjoy it as well, but that's why you separate the playlists, and that's why I think that the two playlists option would be great. All right, so the final thing I really want to talk about is live service support for this game. Now, I know I mentioned it briefly at the start when I was talking about the gameplay, but I feel like Season 5 came and went without any meaningful bug fixes, and it became clear that focus has already shifted to the next game now. And for a live service title on a 2-year cycle, I think just leaving major gameplay and multiplayer issues unresolved is unacceptable, right? So the servers as they are right now are in shambles. Like every time I try and play with Alex or Respawn, whenever we do something together, the three of us, I know it's me in Ireland, him in Sweden, and Respawn in bloody America, but we always have a disconnection. And when you disconnect in this game, there's no way for one player to join back, even if it's a friendly private lobby, which to me, that's a huge wish list item for me in 2K27 is a rejoin button. Please add a rejoin button. If you're not going to do it for competitive modes, at least for private modes, there needs to be a window of opportunity for someone to join back. Because Alex yesterday, when we were doing a skins match, got disconnected on the 14th hole of a skins match, right? And he, like, in the middle of a skins match, they take your VC at the start. So Alex is just shit out of luck. He loses all of his VC that he put in at the start, and there's no way for him to rejoin. And he didn't get disconnected from PSN. He didn't get disconnected from his internet. He just got kicked out of the game. And he could join right back into another game or whatever, but he couldn't join back in our game. And that is just, it's stupid, man. I just really want there to be a rejoin button in 2K27. I think it would add so much to the enjoyment of playing with your friends. And if they added it to the ranked, that would be awesome as well. Because remember all the issues with ranked at the launch of 2K25. So many disconnection issues where people were getting disconnected and losing all of their points. And it's like, come on, man. There needs to be something done there. If the servers aren't going to be improved, you at least got to give people an option to rejoin. But yeah, even then on top of that, like the scramble mode just doesn't work, which I just found out about recently because me and Alex tried to play against Respawn and beat-an. We were absolutely decimating them, by the way. We were 5 under. They were 1 over through like 7 holes. But every 3 holes, one player would get disconnected. Every 3 holes, one player would get disconnected. And then we have to restart the lobby and we have to play up to that point again. And we have to play there. Like we can't just... so it's like, come on. What are we doing? What are we doing? There needs to be a rejoin button. And you need to fix your servers in a way as well. Because a lot of disconnections recently. I don't know if I'm alone in that. But yeah, overall, I think live service support can't just mean new clubs and courses and gear. Core gameplay and multiplayer stability have to be maintained throughout the entire cycle of the game. Or else, what's the point of even calling it a live service game? You know, I just think that there needs to be more in the way of that. Now, I know 2K and HB are going to be looking into this. Hopefully, they're watching this video. This is constructive criticism, HB, okay? You know, this is not something where I love making this video talking down on the game in some ways. Like, as I said, one of my favorite golf games of the last 10 years at launch, and I love what they've done with the game, but I just think that there needs to be more support post-launch. That's my humble opinion. So yeah, just to recap, for 2K27, I want ongoing gameplay and physics support. I want a sustainable economy that rewards long-term play. I want a deeper career mode. I want a true ranked endgame. And I want reliable multiplayer with basic quality of life features. Now, none of this requires reinventing the series. None of this requires reinventing their strategy or how they work on 2K27. I feel like, you know, it just... a little bit extra support here and there is what a little bit more care to your audience is what this requires, right? Because yeah, as I said, after 100 hours, I was in my review after 100 hours, I was extremely positive on PGA Tour 2K25 for the most part, but over time the game has, as I talked about, just regressed a little bit. So yeah, to summarize, PGA Tour 2K27 does not need to reinvent the wheel. It just needs to learn from 2K25's mistakes, and I'm super excited about it. I really am, and I hope that HB and 2K can learn from the mistakes that they made with 2K25, because I feel like this was a big jump forward in quality, even from 2K23, right? I feel like there was a lot of things that went into 2K25 where like, this is great, and we just need more of that, and we need more support post-launch. So yeah, I know they're HB are not a particularly massive team, right? So I think that maybe hopefully they can get more support, and we can see more support for the game post-launch on 2K27. So thanks for watching, really appreciate it. Thanks for all the support. Let me know what you think down in the comments down below, and let me know if there's something I missed for the wish list of PGA Tour 2K27. Thanks for watching, see you next time. Peace out, friends.